Hi, my name is Jack Williams, and I am the Preps beat writer at the Tallahassee Democrat, otherwise known as Big Ben Preps. And this is going to act as a midweek show type of deal where we go over kind of the big events happening this week in prep sports. And the big event happening this week is the return of football and the preseason and one regular season game as well. All around the Big Bend, a lot of teams are going to be playing. A few teams aren't going to be playing, but we're getting a good taste of what we're going to see here this season. Disclaimer, not really good at making videos. There's a reason why I write, because I'm not really good with this on-air type of stuff or video stuff. So just bear with me. I'm going to try my best here, and yeah, let's get into it. Let's get in our focus today. We were able to stop by a few camps today, make a few phone calls today, and talk to some coaches in the area. Let's start out with Maclay. So we stopped by Maclay's practice just to see what was up and what's going on as they prepare to go into their first game of the season playing Port St. Joe. They were originally scheduled to play Taylor County. However, Taylor County is currently dealing with some sanctions right now. Had to get a rescheduled game against Port St. Joe. Doesn't matter though, Maclay has adjusted to the opponent and they're ready to get out onto the field today. They have a different quarterback situation as well. They had a lot of revolving going around that position. I believe they have 4 different players playing at quarterback last season. You know, one thing that Maclay was struggling to find last year is consistency, and now in the offseason, they believe they found some sort of stability.
Good. I mean, I think everybody's excited to just face somebody else. You know, at this point, it's like we've seen each other, we love each other, but like it's time to go after somebody else and see what we can do and let the guys start to come together, play together. Lights go on and see how we perform. So I think we're just excited. You know, we talk all the time, like we don't feel pressure, we apply it. So we're just ready to go out there and just let it roll. We've been working on, what haven't we been working on, honestly? Like, but the game is won and lost up front. So we're just trying to solidify both offense and defensive linemen, defensive lines. And then just mixing guys. It's a great opportunity for us to try some things. Guys will play some different spots. We're gonna play a lot of everybody. They're gonna get stuff on film. So we've been leaving no stone unturned, and we're not doing special teams live. We've still done them all, so we feel prepared as ever.
Stability, and they're finding a lot of that consistency in Michael Grant, who is going to looking like is going to be their starting quarterback for them. You know, he played a bulk of the time for them, and he's really going to settle into that position as well. They really struggled with injuries last year, and as Coach Lance Kramer mentioned, one thing they're focused on is staying healthy as well, and that's going to be a big focus going into this first game.
We're really focusing down on getting everything right, make sure we're executing everything at a high level, getting ready for the game Friday. Right, I'm comfortable with myself, being able to read defenses, and I feel like I'm one of the top in the city, so I'm ready to show what I'm about.
Next team we talked to is Lincoln. Head coach Jimmie Tyson, and we talked to Raylan Wilson as well. Lincoln is going to be a very, very fun team to watch this year. Their expectations are extremely high, and they do have the talent to make a lot of damage this season on offense and on defense. Perry Fisher had a breakout season last year for Lincoln, and he's going to be back in that quarterback position, standing in more of a leadership and seniority role. The Maryland commit, as Coach Tyson mentioned, he's going to play a big leadership role. He's already playing a big leadership role, and they're excited for him to step into that right now this year.
He's been a really good leader for us. He's focusing on the little things, footwork, accuracy, film study, reading the defense, that type of stuff, and his game is just going higher and higher. It's totally like night and day. Last year, we probably were able to go take 30% of the playbook on both sides of the ball into the regular season. And this year, we have probably about 80% of the playbook in. So we can bring everything into game one. So that's a great feeling to know that we can take and attack in different ways.
Raylan Wilson is going to be a big piece of the defense. He is one who speaks so much about that one body mentality that is going on at Lincoln right now. And he's really committed to that cause overall. And the defense is really strapped in for Lincoln as well. And there's a lot of belief in what Lincoln is putting on the field this year. And they're going to get a big challenge against University Christian. They're going to get a big challenge against Niceville. And then they're going to get a big challenge against Godby. It is pedal to the metal for this Lincoln team, and they're going to be entertaining to watch this year as well.
Main key is if everybody do their job, we'll win the game. That's the main thing that we focus on here.
How does it benefit that you guys that you're facing, stronger competition here earlier in the season?
It gets us ready for our playoff run. We plan on going to state and getting the chip, bringing it back to Tallahassee.
Final question here, short interview, but how does it feel, to be back, into kind of a regular pace of things?
It feels great. I'm just happy to play the game.
Two other games to keep an eye out for this weekend are Rickards versus Trinity Christian and Godby versus Life Christian. Talking about the game a little close to home, Rickards versus Trinity Christian. Rickards is bringing back Michael Townsend, who was just a beast at quarterback on the rush, finding his targets. He did a lot of offensive work last season for Rickards, a very senior-heavy team, but he was still a key piece of all of that. Rickards is really maintaining a lot of its offensive structure. As for its defensive structure, it's going to be a whole different beast for them, bringing in a lot of younger players, so it's going to be interesting to see how that defense responds and how conditioning has worked over the summer. But when we're talking about offense, Rickards is pretty stable with that. Townsend might be doing a lot of that work early on. And against Trinity Christian, a team that has, dominated their class for a while here in the state, that's going to be a challenge that it's going to be good to watch for Rickards, especially on that blue field. It's going to be definitely a fun game to watch for sure. Like I mentioned, I'm going to be at that game covering it. Mainly because it's going to be one of the bigger games to watch in the area here. So it's going to be interesting to see how Rickards' offense mainly matches up to Trinity Christian's, and if the defense, where they're at just in general, because we don't know too much about their defense right now. Overall, Rickards has a different look to them, but maintaining those key parts of that offense is huge for them. Saturday game is down in Naples, and we will have coverage from our sister publication down in Naples. Godby is playing Life Christian, and Godby is another team that is extremely driven through a senior class, similar to what Lincoln is dealing with right now. You have a ton of players, Chase Gillespie, Bryce Cowan, just to name two of them, who are very driven and believe that this Godby class can do it. This Godby class is another team that is taking its schedule, loaded it up, and is ready to face some of the best teams in the state here. The game Life Christian, which is not a walk in the park for them, and I can't remember who they have week for week. Let me go down my list here. They're playing Florida High the week after that, so that's still going to be a big challenge for Godby as well. And then right after that, they're going to play Lincoln. Godby's getting the brunt of it, and I think they want the brunt of it. They want to be facing some of these best teams in the Big Bend, and seeing this game coming up this weekend, they want to face some of the best teams in Florida. This Godby team is driven, and they're going to be another fun team to watch this year. One of the better teams here in the Big Bend as well. When they match up against Lincoln, when they match up against Florida High, that game, the Rickards-Godby rivalry game, that is definitely going to be one to watch this year. Godby is another team that is driven and is going to be extremely fun to watch this year. It's going to be interesting to see how their regular season wraps up and what the postseason will have in store for them as well.
The kids have been looking forward to it because it's a chance to play a really good team from Virginia and play on a national stage. And we're stopping the practice at University of Florida on the way down there. And, it's kind of a college feel to the start of the season, and so the kids are excited. We had a great day of practice today, and we're looking forward to the challenge. Well, you never can simulate, the teams that we're going to play in this area, the Florida Highs and the Lincolns and the Rickards. Those teams are very good, and so you've got to do whatever you can to play great competition to prepare you for the local schedule, and then, hopefully that leads into you, clicking at the right time and really propelling yourself to have success in the playoffs. Our big thing, and I was looking at it today, I've coached 21 games as head coach at Godby. We've only played 5 home games in those 21 games, and so our goal this year is, really to go after the district title and try to get some home playoff games, that we haven't had one since I've been the head coach, and that's really our goal, to try to secure home field advantage in the playoffs.
And that's about all that we have time for today. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into the Midweek show, and thank you for dealing with me and all the rambling and all the getting used to I'm having with just talking, as you can tell, and talking in front of the camera and getting used to this. Hopefully we're going to make this into something special, something exciting, and expand it as well. And also subscribe to the Tallahassee Democrat at Tallahassee.com. We'll have coverage of not just football, but volleyball, cross country, swimming, all the fall sports you can think of right now. All the teams, all the schools will be there. And once again, thank you, and I will see you guys on the field.